Hello, UB family, and welcome to another episode of Fridays on the Lawn. My name is Yma, your host and the Director of Marketing and Communications here at the University of Belize. Thank you so much for joining us. Today's conversation has a beautiful common thread: student voices, how we nurture them, showcase them, and support them. We'll be hearing from three very special corners of our UB community. First, we'll be joined by Miss Mary Smith, our creative writing poetry lecturer, along with one of her students who will be taking the stage at their end of semester poetry slam. They're going to share how poetry becomes a space for students to speak their truth, explore identity, and turn classroom learning into live performances. We're also going to be talking with Mr. Damian Moore, facilitator of the Storytelling Through Printmaking course, where students are transforming oral histories and community stories into powerful visual art. That work isn't just creative, it's about preserving culture and shaping how we see ourselves as Belizeans. And to complete the circle of student support, we'll meet the newest member of the UB family, our Student Affairs Coordinator, Mrs. Erlinda Smith. She'll share how Student Affairs is working to ensure that behind every poem, every print, and every performance, there is a strong guidance, care, and holistic support for our students' journey. So whether you're a current student, alum, or friend of UB, today's show is all about the many ways this national university helps our students find, shape, and share their stories. So stay with us. Fridays on the Lawn starts right now. Good morning again, guys. I know I just mentioned a little while ago that we're coming to you live from our beautiful Belmopan campus, but this is what we're dealing with. This is the bipolarness of our beautiful capital city. It is raining, but the show must go on. And our first guest that we have is, I'd like to say, no stranger to Belize over the past several years, but definitely someone that is worth following and getting to know. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, wow. That's quite the introduction, as it is. My name is Damian Moore. I'm an artist. I am from Guyana, so I have a degree in fine art from Guyana, and then I moved to Trinidad, and I studied fashion, so I have a bachelor's in fashion as well. And now I'm here in beautiful Belize.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome home, if I might add. I know a little bit about the project that you're currently engaged in. I know it's funded through the research office in collaboration with.
Okay, so it's really funded by Niche.
Okay.
And the research office is facilitating the project. So it's based on youth education and youth arts education, to be specific. What I'm doing, I'm bringing CXC visual arts to the campus and to this project. So we're focusing on an expressive form called printmaking. So I'm going through the whole process with the participants from ground up, so they have an idea how to start, how to use the vocabulary of art and the vocabulary of printmaking. And to couple it with culture, we're looking at Mayan stories. So, which is the exciting part
Yes.
we'll get to later in the project. So we're looking at stories that were never documented. So essentially, these participants are becoming the illustrators of these stories, and they're going to be the persons who are essentially bringing it to the wider public.
I love that. Now, I know that this is a twofold project. So there's a theoretical component, then there's a practical, where to some extent, the student participants are going to be sitting with the elderly, getting these stories. How does that unfold for you?
All right, so I'm working with Frank Zib, who everybody knows. So he is meeting with the elders and getting these stories, and to an extent, other young persons who are descendants from Mayans, and have stories passed down from them from their elders. So it's both young and old. So he is really documenting the stories for us, and then I'm bringing it to the participants, and they're going to read, interpret, and at some point they're going to meet with him, and we're going to discuss elements of the story and how to put it into imagery.
This is Cool.
It's a huge project.
Is this just for students or?
It's mostly for students, but
Okay.
if anybody wants to fall into the classes, we have some space left.
How
So
many are we looking at?
we have like 3 to 4 spaces left.
Okay.
So if anybody is interested, it is a commitment because the project ends in April.
Okay.
And it ends with a exhibition. So the students or participants get to exhibit their edition prints. When I say edition prints, we do prints in trees. So they're going to learn how to mark their work and how to display it. They're going to be able to experience the whole exhibition process as well.
That's pretty amazing work.
Yeah.
In terms of the creative industry in Belize, I'm pretty sure you've gotten a taste by now, the opportunities that are ahead of us. How do you see this particular project working in terms of cultural preservation?
In terms of cultural preservation, I think this is a step forward, because, as I said, these stories were never documented.
Right.
So these are fresh stories that you don't see in storybooks. So in that sense, it's going to be preserved and it's going to be presented in an art form, which is exciting for both myself because I'm a descendant from the Carib tribes in Guyana. So I wanted to see the similarities between Mayans and our tribe, and I get to learn. So we're all learning together.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, how is it that you decided upon the Mayan? I mean, we have our indigenous people here in Belize. Maybe there's a future for maybe the Garifuna.
Oh, for sure, for sure. As I said, this is just a step forward. The grant specifically is for the Mayans, but I have another project that is coming into the works, which is the Caribbean Culture Fund, which I recently won.
Okay.
And thank you. So that's a regional fund, and it allows me to bring the culture of Belize to a wider audience. So I'm excited. So I'm going to incorporate the Garifuna culture
In that project.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this one is based on costuming. So bringing stories or presenting stories through costume.
I will tell you, and you know this, Damian, because we've spoken about you so many times. Like, I want to see our national university front and center for Carnival. So this is something I really want us to work on for next year Carnival.
I think this is a great opportunity for the university as well to have an actual applied arts course on campus. So students can see what the possibilities are, and just like everything else, with the theory, like everything you study, it has a level of theory. So I know some people might find it boring, but it isn't necessarily.
It's important.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
So let's hope the right people are listening and we can make that connect through our Faculty of Education and Arts, and let's get this thing on the road, because why not, right? So if there anybody out there who might be interested in signing up for the course, how do they make that connection?
They could email me at damian.j.moore@gmail, or they could contact the research unit.
Okay. That's on the Dr. DeForbob.
Yes, and she could put them in touch with me.
And just for the record, this is absolutely free of cost.
It is free, so we're fronting all the materials, everything. So the materials are very expensive, so you get the opportunity to work with the real, authentic stuff.
Awesome. All the best, Damian. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you for having me.
sit
This
with
is
us.
amazing.
Not necessarily on the lot because of the weather, but hey, this is Benlopan, right? We look forward to hearing some more from you on your next project.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we're coming up on our second segment, and that is definitely going to be something you want to pay attention to. It's all about creative writing, poetry. And listen, we have a fantastic lecturer who has continued on our tradition of having these spoken word poetry. You don't want to miss it.
Are you looking for a sweet picture-perfect treat? Are you looking for something to satisfy your sweet cravings? Are you tired of eating waffles the same old normal way? Well, you are at the right place. Berylicious Bites.
Hi everybody, I'm Kelsey Scarga and I'm a marketing student.
today I want to be telling you guys a little bit about our marketing expo. So the marketing expo is going to be happening on the 27th of November, which is next week, Thursday. My group and I are out here today. We're giving out free samples of our products, which are Presto con Crema, Popping Boba, and our waffles. Today, we're kind of like advertising and giving our giveaway. We're going to be having so much more on Thursday. We have a group that's doing donuts, which is the Donut Garden. I believe we also have a group that's doing Polaroid. We have a group that's doing crazy corn, and like there's a group that's specializing in cookies and cakes. But we, Very Delicious Bites, we are doing Presto con Cremas, we're doing waffles, and we're doing Popping Boba. Now, we're kind of like going in a different direction with this. Our Presto con Cremas are completely homemade. So we make it from scratch. And our pancakes, we make it right here. Our Popping Boba is a really, I guess you could say, a mysterious drink. It's a very new drink. I made it out of my mind myself. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys go and see us on November 27th, next week, Thursday. Thank you guys. Bye.
I just tried the Fresa con Crema, I think it's called. It's a strawberry whipped cream. It tasted very good. I would definitely recommend.
That was one of the best waffles I've ever tasted, and combined with the syrup and all the other toppings, I could say it was a great meal. I would buy again. Thankfully it was free, so I would go again for another free sample.
With a variety of treats like fresas con crema, waffles, and popping boba, ideal to satisfy your cravings.
Visit Berylicious at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
At Berylicious Bar, we have not for one, not for two, not for three,
For all.
And thank you guys for joining us. This is our second segment of Fridays on the Lawn. It's a beautiful day, I will still say. It's raining here on campus, but we're definitely going to make the most of today's session. And with us, this is something that I hold dear to my heart. And that's because I too was once a lecturer of the creative writing poetry course, where I made a little tweak here and there in terms of ensuring that we had a competency-based structure to it. And so, Mary, it's such a lovely thing to know that you are continuing on that track. We're actually giving our students an opportunity to just show themselves, be themselves, and feel good about presenting poetry. Tell us a little bit about what that part of this course is all about.
All right, so like you mentioned, competency based. So not only do they learn about the theoretical aspects, but at the end of each segment, they're able to showcase what they have learned. So for instance, I had my first poetry event under the course, and that was back in September, where the students had to basically showcase what they learned. So they had to showcase, like for instance, they had to add not only like the different aspects of performance poetry, but they also had to build on the skills that they learned in class. So after they have written their original pieces in class, they were able to share that with the public. And the whole purpose of that event was to help them prepare them for the final, which will be taking place within a couple days or weeks, next week.
Right,
Exactly.
right. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Paige. I'm part of Miss Mary's poetry class. And yeah, a student of the associate's degree in English. So this is, interesting and a fun part of the progress of the course that I get to take part in.
What's the experience been like? You've done two, right? You've done two.
Yeah, we've done
practice
two events.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us about that. How was that? Were you scared?
The first time was definitely like a big step out of my comfort zone because I'm not used to. I enjoy writing poetry and I have written a fair bit of poetry, but I it was a big step to actually share it with people and to perform it live. I had never done that before, so that was something new. But Miss Mary encouraged us to just to not be afraid of other people judging your work
Right.
or being afraid that it's not perfect, because in the end it's about the heart that you wrote it with, and yeah, it's a special part of you. So that's one part that I found challenging, but it was a good challenge.
Yeah. And I know, Mary, the last one, the first one I attended, you actually had a guest lecturer, not guest lecturer, but I don't know how I would refer to Mr. Morgan. But he came, he brought it. You know, he brought it in terms of performance. Tell us about the collaboration there with him.
Okay, so Mr. Morgan, he heard about the event and he decided to show up.
Oh,
Yes, he saw the flyer and he showed up, and yeah, he did his thing and he provided some additional feedback at the end, which was really, exceptional.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Now we have another student who's waiting to come on. No stranger to me because I've had him for a couple. Thank you, Paige. I've had him for a couple courses. Come on right over, Wagner. This is my guy. This is my assistant when I need him because he's also into photography. And so whenever I need help, I always am on his line. Thank you so much for accommodating me, Wagner. I appreciate you so very much. Tell us about your experience in poetry.
I think having a mentor like Miss Mary with this poetry class is really imperative for us students in the associates level. You know, she brings that idea to us and she gives us all the fundamental and necessary equipment for us to write poetry and to lose that emotion within us and to go out there and to be the best version of us with the public.
For sure. Now I know poetry is something that it is therapy for the soul. It is self-expressive, and most of the times it allows us a platform to tell our truth. Have you experienced any of that? I listened to a few of your poems that you delivered, and it felt so. It was emotional, and I love that. What has that been for you?
And
Express yourself like that.
yes, like how you said, poetry and writing overall is therapeutic. She likes to refer to writing as that a lot. And I really think that when it comes to writing and when we're writing from our emotion, it is more authentic. It is more touching. So that is really, I think, really good when it comes to writing. We really take ownership of our own writing when it comes to poetry.
And I love it. I'm once upon a time, I know at the university we used to have a minor in creative writing. That is something I'm hoping we can get going because I think it's such an important course across the different faculties, the different departments. And I mean, you don't necessarily have to be an English major to enjoy poetry. Like I said, it touches us from every corner of this campus. Any final words, Mary? Like, tell us the date. Is this event going to be an open event?
Yes. So next week, Thursday, is the final event, November 27th. And so that is where the students will get to showcase everything. So now it will be a culmination of what they did for the first performance, the second performance, and now they get to show the polished final. So yes, it's also open to the public because we will be having a open mic segment. So after all the poets have performed, then there will be an open mic segment, and also there will be a special as well. Yes, we'll be having some jazz as well. So it will be poetry and jazz.
Tell us time and venue.
All right, so it will be at the UB Library. So the same venue, UB Library, and it will start at 4:30 and finishes around 6 o'clock.
Sounds lovely. So if you have something to do, try to get it done before 4:30 next week, Thursday. I'm definitely going to be there to document this grand event. And I wish you guys all the best. Any final words, Wagner?
Of course, writing is not just for English majors. I invite everyone to write. If you are available next week, come to our poetry lesson or poetry time there. It will be an enjoyable time for everyone. And even if though you're not an English major, bring your poetry with you. We want to hear you. We want to hear everyone. We want to hear your work.
Thank you so much, guys. All the best. I look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday. We're wrapping up on our Fridays on the Lawn for this week, and we have very interesting, exciting energy. Someone who is coming with passion and vibe in our student affairs coordinator, Mrs. Smith. Thank you so much, guys. We want to welcome Mrs. Smith on the chair. I've said a little while ago, guys, we started out, this is Belmopan, the sun was shining, it was such a beautiful day, and then out of nowhere, this rain just came. So welcome to Belmopan weather, Miss Smith.
Thank you for the welcome.
And welcome to UB family. We're so happy to have you. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I started to teach just around when I was 19 years old. So to give you a quick, I'm in the profession close to 20 years old. So it tells a little bit about my age. I have a passion for working with youths. I really love working with youths from the ages 5 going all the way up to 29.
Interesting.
I've been a person who's always working with youth groups, always with the student government, and doing little things here and there in my community, especially with art and mentoring students. I have quite a bit of following with my students in the previous years, and I keep connected to them because I want to see them succeed.
I love that. I love that. I love the enthusiasm. I know you're a little bit behind because we started our academic year in August. We're now nearing the end of our first semester. But what do you have in store for us coming up shortly?
Oh, Miss Casey, we have a lot of things coming, and it's quite a big shoe to fill. The work that was started there is amazing. But 2 key things that we want to do is to continue to work in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And we're working with the student government and with the clubs. So we want to elevate the cafeteria and make it a space that's warm and inviting. And also the uni store. Look out for the survey guys. We have a lot of designs coming, but I want your input so that we know that what we're putting in the cafeteria is something that you will love.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'm looking forward to have them enjoy the space that we're going to create over the Christmas break. So look forward to that.
Just for a quick recap, tell us about your portfolio. What are some of the areas that you're responsible for?
Okay, so I'm here in the capacity of student service coordinator, and whatever the students need, I'm working with the financial aid, study abroad. I work closely with Dr. Pierre, of course, the student government, the clubs. We have international students coming as well in early January, and the management of the cafeteria and looking after the needs of the students on campus.
So, for example, if there's a student who might need, because I think you also deal with career counseling.
Right.
So, if it is, and I'm saying this because I've spoken to students who might have started an entire year in a particular course. By the end of that year, by the end of that semester, they have their hand thrown up and are like, I don't know if this is exactly what I want. Is your office somewhere that they can visit?
The office is the place for you to come. We're looking also to work with some businesses to do some additional skills training so that when you step from out of that gate, you are ready and you are attractive for the community to start working. So if you don't know where you want to go, if you're still looking for support to find where you want to go, my office is a place for you to come.
You heard it, guys. You heard it live and direct. I know the last thing I will talk about, because this is big, is the annual job fair.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about that quickly.
Again, it's a huge shoes to fill. And I have, last week, I believe you guys were at the auditorium, and I met with a lot of business owners. I met with a lot of them, and I'm starting the process before school reopen to contact the job fair. And again, students, the job fair is a place where you want to find out what you need to do to get ready to get those jobs, because at UB, we want to prepare you for those jobs. So look out for the job fair in spring. And if you have any questions before job fair, come to my office so that you can find out.
I want to put you on the spot right now, because I know we've had earlier conversations. You're also an artist.
I am.
And that really excites me. I have some crazy, fantastic ideas
I'm looking
to
forward to it.
really, rejuvenate campus. I'm thinking about some murals. I mean, there are so many things that will give her some time to get, pick up the momentum. But that's something I think, because we have so much talent here on campus.
We do.
I think we can really, express ourselves creatively through art.
So I'm looking forward to painting with you, Miss Casey.
Yes, please.
Painting with some of the
Please.
students.
I love
And
it.
to get that vibe going on.
Exactly. I love it and I look forward to that. All right, guys. That brings us to the end of our Fridays on the Lawn for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. We spoke some pretty interesting people who are making a difference for our student life here on campus. If you've not yet followed us, please remember we're on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Join the movement. Your future is definitely bright here at the University of Belize. Until next week, be safe. Thanks for joining.